Velocity TV begins now.
Are you ready?
Ladies and gentlemen, strap yourselves in for the wildest thrill ride of your life. So grab a snack and sit back because we're about to throw it down.
We've got the best three-wide action door-to-door racing out of turn number 4 you'll find on iRacing, right here live on the Full Velocity Racing Network.
We are about to crown tonight's champion, and it's time to let her dig.
We're restacked and repacked off of turn number 4. Who's it gonna be? Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome to another rendition here at Lernerville Speedway UDRA. I am Amsoil High Noon series here, and can't wait to get back. 2 weeks off so far here, and it's definitely been jonesing at the bit here to do a Sunday show here the last couple of weeks, and now drivers out there qualifying right now, putting down their best lap that they can. 3 minutes of qualifying here, then we'll get into the heat racing action here. The New Year's 50 event here today, and 50 laps will be the distance of the main event. A lot of heavy hitters in the field. Top 5 in points right now, as they said. Blake Majulis, your points leader, with 194 points. Mason Crawford, the missile, 185 in second. Then you got Drew Hopkins in the 155. Then you got Clifford Driscoll, 149, and Brayton Wallace round out your top 5 right now with 146. So top 5 in points as they speak right now, so pretty close there between Blake Majulis and Mason Crawford. Don't ever count out the phenom Drew Hopkins. Clifford Driscoll from 3D Racing, our official team here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, right now hanging in that 4th spot. And then you got Brayton Wallace in 5th in points, like you said. Brayton Wallace, definitely another guy that can climb up here. So those guys not really that far off, so something definitely could happen here. So just waiting for everything to go amiss right now. Jordan Casey is right now your quick time of the afternoon so far, with coming in with a 14.993. So we'll take a look at the qualifying drop down and see where your driver may be stacked up here today. Like you said, Jordan Casey right now at the top. Then you got Blake Majulis right there second. Clifford Driscoll third quickest. Calvin Herring in the 08 machine, 4th quickest. Bryce Dafferin in the 18, he's 5th. Davin Cardwell is 6th. John Kennedy there in the backwards hat, number 189 machine, now just drops back to 8th. As Dylan Wilson now almost takes the pole position from Jordan Casey, but Dylan Wilson in the D1RT, number 80 machine, outside pole sitter. So right now it's an all D1RT guy, front row guys, so we'll see what happens if that's going to all prevail, as qualifying still has 24 more seconds here. Then you got Blake Majulis, like I said, 3rd quickest here as of right now. Clifford Driscoll 4th, and then you got Blake Cannon 5th quickest out there on the speedway. Want to remind everybody to like the link out here, share and let everybody know the Full Velocity Racing Network is live. And don't forget, if you like us on Facebook, make sure you go ahead on over to YouTube and like us. We're trying to get to 1,000 likes over there, and make sure you let them know that we're relevant on YouTube too. But also star donations, guys. Star donations today goes a long, long way here, as we had a 25,000 star. What do we say? The quota that Facebook wants us to hit here this month, 25,000 stars to make Full Velocity Racing TV relevant, and we're 18,000 away here. So a whole month of January, the Facebook has gave us a goal to hit 25,000 stars. So any help will go a very, very long way. And we're getting ready already for heat racing action here. You gotta see what's going to happen here. Heat race number 1 is starting on the pole. Driving the number 42, that would be Jordan Casey. His dancing part of the outside. Driving the number 63, 3D Racing Zone. That's Clifford Driscoll. Inside row number 2, we'll see Bryce Daffrin aboard the number 18 machine. Then Darren Litterall aboard the HRE Motorsports number 68, rolling off in position number 4. Fifth starter sees Brad Dyer aboard the number 56, and now Alex Smollers aboard the 211 in position 6. Seventh, we'll see Scott Dobbs in the number 29, and Josh Peacock in the Bulletproof Motorsports number 61 in position number 8. Ninth, we'll see Lance Horton there in the 14 machine, so I apologize for that one. That's a new name here tonight, or this afternoon, I should say. And Tom Dryling aboard the number 11 machine, rolling off position 10. J-Rod Hazen in the 09 in position number 11. So 11 cars we called for. All 11 cars out there on the Speedway heat racing action. 10 laps will be the distance here in the heat racing action. Thank you, Kevin. 4-week streak there for star donations. We appreciate it. 100 stars. We appreciate you, Kevin, out there on Full Velocity Racing Network. We appreciate any star donations. Like I said, goes a very, very long way to help us keep our broadcasting rates cheap, to help us keep our costs low. That's what we want to do. So definitely what we're going to try to do here on Full Velocity Racing Network for all of 2020 is iRacing green flag comes out for the first time Sunday here in the new year. The number 42 of Jordan Casey, your current race leader already here as he dives it down off into turn number 3. It is the number 18 of Bryce Daffrin running in that second spot. Clifford Driscoll falls back to third. Then you have the 68 machine running in that fourth spot. That is Darren Litterall battling it out, duking it out with Brad Dyer. Dyer drops down to the bottom side, and the number 56 machine side by side as Litterall gets all kinds of out of shape and he loses it. Darren Litterall around over there in the corner. That allows the number 56 up to the fourth there. Like I said, Brad Dyer. Clifford Driscoll still running in that third spot. He's looked down to the bottom side a couple different times on the number 18 of Bryce Daffrin. Daffrin's able to slam the door shut on that number 63 machine. But Jordan Casey, the D1RT number 42 machine, is locked on a mission here today, driving away from the field here in heat race number 1. Like I said, Jordan Casey, right now your race leader. Bryce Daffrin now battling it out again with Clifford Driscoll. Driscoll keeps peeking down to the bottom side there. Again, you've got the number 63 of Driscoll. He's in the top 5 in points right now, currently 4th in the point standings. Trying to get around the number 18 machine of Bryce Daffrin there, just to try to lock him into a better spot there. And maybe in the A main, the number 63 of Driscoll draped all over the number 18 machine as they come down into turn number 3. But it's been all Jordan Casey's. We're already past halfway home there. 5 in, 5 to go. So now we got 4 to go here at the line as Jordan Casey, like you said, just putting the licking out in the field so far in heat race number 1. As Bryce Daffrin still running in the second spot. Driscoll drifting up the track just a tad bit. I thought he was going to go over the banking over there in turns 3 and 4. Able to hold on to it, though, and still stay in the third spot. Brad Dyer in the fourth spot. Scott Dobbs has worked his way all the way up to 5th. Good run for Scott Dobbs as he started 9th on the field, already up to the 5th spot. So Dobbs on a mission too. He wants to lock himself into the A main. We'll see if he's going to be able to do that as we're already down the back straight away with Jordan Casey with 2 laps remaining here as we're going to come up on white flag. Off of turn number 4 for Jordan Casey, the D1RT. Number 42 machine locks her down into turn number 1. And off of turn number 2 down the back straight away for the final time. Jordan Casey shows him the way here in heat race number 1 as he comes down into turn number 3 off of turn number 4. It's going to be Jordan Casey taking down heat race number 1. Bryce Daffrin for 2. Third is going to go to Clifford Driscoll, Brad Dyer, Scott Dobbs. Round out your top 5 here in heat race number 1. Got to give a big shout out to our sponsors here. You see the slideshow on the bottom here. Got to thank Team Friday here. Got Cron Trucking also available as a sponsorship here. These guys make it all happen here on Sundays. You got to don't forget Kevin's Custard there in Hamburgs. Just watching them all scroll through here. That will be available here. Amsoil, of course, the headline sponsor here of Sunday nights. Should say Sunday afternoons. Dirt All Access, DAA. Says heat race number 2 coming to post. iRacing iFlag, a sponsor here also. This is a sponsor here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. As we get ready for heat race number 2, second quick time here. Tonight belonged to another D1RT guy. That is Dylan Wilson. Dylan Wilson starting on the pole here of heat race number 2. His dancing partner to the outside, driving the number 44 machine. That is Blake Cannon. Inside row number 2 sees the number 27 machine, which is actually the 07 of Davin Cardwell. And Jacob Fields aboard the Double Knot 7, rolling off in position number 4. Position number 5 sees Shane James aboard the number 3 machine, and Lyndon Wiffle aboard the number 21 machine, rolling off position number 6. 7 sees Jason McSparron aboard the number 23, and Brett Fryer aboard the 013 machine in position number 8. 9th sees Jared Mogard aboard the number Double Knot machine, and Blake Brown aboard the number 74 in position number 10. 10 cars we called for. 10 cars we have out there on the speedway. Like you said, it is Dylan Wilson and Blake Cannon in your front row. So you got D1RT, Swindell Speed Labs front row there. iRacing iFlag, green flags out. And we're racing down the front straightaway. See who's going to lead the charge down the one. That's going to be Dylan Wilson, of course. And that 80D machine, he drifts up the track, leaves the door open there for the Swindell Speed Labs, number 44 of Cannon. Cannon dives her down deep into number 3, slide job through corners 3 and 4, but here comes Wilson back down to the bottom, side by side into turn number 1. It is still the number 80 of Dylan Wilson, leading in the top spot. Jacob Fields now moves in to the third spot, battling out with Davin Cardwell. Cardwell, the 07 machine. Oh, Fields and Cardwell make a lot of contact, and they keep making contact down into turn number 1, but Fields going to be able to wrestle his way into that third spot. So Shane James now back down to the bottom, now slams the door here on the 07 of Davin Cardwell. So put Shane James into the 4th spot. So James and HRE, number 3 machine. Nice looking machine out there as Cardwell fires back down to the inside. Man, he really cuts off the run of Shane James down the back straight away. Going to have to see if James is going to be able to fire back down to the inside. Not able to do so far. So right now, the battle for the race lead, though, between the Swindell Speed Labs number 44 and D1RT number 80 of Dylan Wilson. Here comes Cannon firing back down to the inside. Great side-by-side battling, duking it out for the race lead. Halfway home, 5 in, 5 to go. Got to thank everybody for tuning into the Full Velocity Racing Network here. Lernerville Speedway, Mechanicsburg, Savor, Pennsylvania. Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania out there. I was going to say from Williams Grove there. Scott out there watching. As I seen him, he always puts himself up there watching, everybody watching out there from Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. But the number 80 of Dylan Wilson right now in the top spot. Blake Cannon running in 2nd, Jacob Fields running 3rd, Shane James holding on to the 4th spot as he was able to get back around Davin Cardwell, the Monster Dirt number 07 machine, but here he comes firing back to the outside. Side-by-side battle for the 4th spot, but it is a great battle there as the Dylan Wilson and Blake Cannon battle still waging war up towards the front of the field. As we have 1 lap to go, can Blake Cannon do anything with Wilson? Wilson leads the charge down the back straightaway for the final time. Into turn number 3, Dylan Wilson looking. Blake Cannon slams her in as hard as he can, but he can't do nothing. Dylan Wilson taking down heat race number 2. 2nd going to go to Blake Cannon, Jacob Fields, Shane James, and Davin Cardwell round out your top 5 here in heat race number 2. So as we continue on here with heat race number 3, it's going to come to post like this. Starting on the pole, your current points leader, driving the Swindell Speed Labs number 127, that'll be Blake Majulis, and Calvin Herring aboard the 3D number 08 machine, rolling off position number 2. Rolling off 3rd will be John Kennedy aboard the number 189 machine, and then 4th starting spot will be the Phenom, that is Drew Hopkins in the 157. Inside row number 3, you'll see the 06 of Matthew Everett and Darren Friedman aboard the number 89 machine in position 6. 7th starting spot, we'll see Ryan Underwood in the number 46, another really young guy making a name for himself here for 3D Racing. And Preston Ledford aboard the 07, rolling off position number 8. 9th starting spot sees the number 91 of Tyson Pankow and Josh Hessen aboard the 118 machine in position number 10. 10 cars we call for. We have all 10 cars out there on the speedway. And this is going to be a barn burner, I'm going to tell you, folks. When you see a bunch of different cars out there, you even got Drew Hopkins out there, currently 3rd in points. You got Blake Majules, who is the points leader, starting on the pole, and then Calvin Herring there. And the one-shot scrap and recycling number 08 machine. He's on the outside, the front row, having a good qualifying effort aboard the 08 machine. So we'll see what he's got. Thank you, Katie, for the 100 stars out there. That is going to be a 2-week streak for you. We appreciate it. Like I said, we're down. We got to get to 25,000 stars here in the month of January. We got about 19,000 stars to go. So any help will be much appreciated here on the Full Velocity Racing Network as the iRacing I-Flag green flag comes out and Blake Majules fires first down into turn number 1. You have the 08 machine running in that 2nd spot. Here comes John Kennedy here running in that 3rd spot. Then you got Matthew Everett peeking down to the bottom 2, but John Kennedy, the backward hack Productions number 189 machine, running in that 3rd spot. Now peeking to the bottom, but Everett's trying to spoil the deal there. It's Calvin Herring right now. Oh, John Kennedy gets forced up the track just a tad bit by Everett. That allows the number 89 machine of Darren Friedman to move into the 4th spot. So Kennedy going to have to fight his way back inside the top 4. As here comes John Kennedy side by side with Darren Friedman there. Friedman to the outside trying to hold on to the 4th spot. So Blake Majules is checked out. The Swindell Speed Labs number 127 checked out from the field right now. And he is already out to a 1.5 second advantage over Calvin Herring, who has got a bumper full of the 06 of Matthew Everett. Everett keeps looking down to the bottom, trying to get that forward bite off the corner, but Calvin Herring going to hold on to the 2nd spot over Matthew Everett. Here comes the number 157 machine of the Phenom, Drew Hopkins, down to the bottom. He gets around the number 89 machine, the 189 of John Kennedy. Now sets his sights on Darren Freeman in that number 89 machine. We'll see if he's going to be able to get around him for the 4th spot. Again, Drew Hopkins currently running in the 3rd place in points here in this series. And definitely now the 157 trying so hard to get back into it as John Kennedy keeps slipping back there. So tough break for the Backward Hack Productions number 189 machine. John Kennedy dropping back through the field. So the 127 of Blake Majules leads across the start-finish line. We have 3 laps remaining there as Calvin Herring pretty much running in that 2nd spot. It looks like he's fended off the 06 of Matthew Everett. Everett's right now running in that 3rd spot. He's trying to do everything he can, but right now losing some time there, precious time, to the 08 of Calvin Herring. 4th is still Darren Freeman, but now here comes the Phenom, the 157 of Drew Hopkins, down to the bottom, side-by-side battle for the 4th spot as they enter the back straightaway. We're going to see the white flag out this time around for the number 127 of Blake Majules. There he's already crossed, but the battle is for that 4th spot between Darren Freeman and Drew Hopkins. Those guys duking it out here, but Blake Majules down into turn number 3 and off of turn number 4, picking up heat race number 3, going to go to Blake Majules. Calvin Herring, it looks like going to be nipped at the line by Matthew Everett. Then Darren Freeman going to round out your top 4. Drew Hopkins finishing up in that 5th spot. So we're going to waste no time. 3 heat races. So guess who's not in the house? The Missile Mason Crawford, currently 2nd in points. He is not here this afternoon. So Mason Crawford not making the call here for the point standings. They're currently running in 2nd, so definitely going to pad Blake Majules' points lead here. But we're getting ready for the consolation event here, B-Main Racing Action. So starting on the pole, driving the number 29 machine, that will be 3D Racing's own Scott Dobson is dancing part of the outside. The Monsters of Dirt, number 07, that's Devin Cardwell. Inside row number 2 sees the number 157, the Phenom, Drew Hopkins and Lance Horton there in the number 14, rolling off the position at number 4. Lyndon Wiffle aboard the number 21, rolling off 5th. 6th will be the 189, the Backwards Hat Productions, number 189. That is John Kennedy. Rolling off in the 7th starting spot will be Jared Hazen aboard the 09 machine, and Blake Brown aboard the number 74 in position number 8. 9th starter sees Preston Ledford aboard the 07 machine, and then Josh Peacock aboard the Bulletproof Motorsports number 61 in position number 10. Brett Farrer aboard the 013, rolling off in position number 11, and Josh Hessen aboard the 118 machine in position number 12. 13 sees Alex Smolders aboard the 211, and Jason McSbarron aboard the number 23 in position at number 14. 15 sees Tyson Pankow and then Tom Dreiling aboard the number 11 machine, rolling off in 16th. 17 sees Jared Mogard aboard the double knot machine, and the 46 of Ryan Underwood rolling off position number 18. 19 starting spot sees Darren Litterall in the HRE Motorsports number 68. Looks like we called for 19. We have 17 cars out there. Thank you for Robbie Buckner tuning in. Robbie, appreciate you coming in. And Travis Clark, this is the Amsoil High Noon Series, brought to you by HRE and a bunch of other gaggle of sponsorships there. And Scott, yes, they can change their steering ratio here as the iRacing flag, green flag comes out, and look at that. It is Scott Dobbs to the race lead here in the B main. Second is Drew Hopkins and Davin Cardwell running in the 3rd spot. Horton running in the 4th. 5th is Lyndon Wiffle. Then you have Blake Brown running in that 6th spot. So these guys pretty much all strung out through the field. Looking to see maybe where a couple of these guys, it looks like Josh Peacock not answering the call either. So put Josh Peacock scratch on the field. Jared Mogard, Ryan Underwood, and Brett Fair all scratch as of right now. So Scott Dobbs, your race leader. Second is the number 157, Drew Hopkins, but not for long. Here comes Davin Cardwell, lays it into the side of the 29 of Scott Dobbs. There's not a lot of professionalism there when you lay it into the side of another car like that going through the corner. But the 29 of Scott Dobbs right now running in that 3rd spot. Dobbs may return the favor though. He's going to stay off of him though. Davin Cardwell used his fenders to advance his position. But Scott Dobbs says, I'm going to do it cleanly there in that number 29 machine. But the 07 of Davin Cardwell now moves to the outside. He wants to make it into the A main. I understand fully as Davin Cardwell now to the outside. Storms around the 157 machine of Drew Hopkins as he's way down to the bottom. Same way with Scott Dobbs. Dobbs gets a little bit out of shape. Here comes McSbarron way up on the top shelf of the speedway. I thought that was McSbarron, but it's the number 23 machine is actually Horton in the 23, so definitely a little bit of a number game here that they're playing. But Davin Cardwell duking it out there with Drew Hopkins. Hopkins back down to the bottom side. As the 07 of Davin Cardwell continues to lead this one with Drew Hopkins running in that 2nd spot. 3rd is the Horton machine, the number 23, as I was calling him the number 14, it says on the screen. We already have 4 to go here as Davin Cardwell, your race leader here in the B main. The Monsters of Dirt, number 07D machine, showing the quick way around. Drew Hopkins running in 2nd, Horton running 3rd, Dobbs is running in that 4th spot, Blake Brown running 5th, Hazen in the 09 running in that 6th spot. 7th should see Josh Hessen. And Wiffle right there running in the 8th spot. John Kennedy struggling right now, running in that 13th spot. The Backward Hack Productions number 189 machine had a strong heat race, but it seems like it's falling apart for him here at the seams in that 189 machine. So Davin Cardwell with 1 lap to go here, wrestled his way to the front. He's going to be able to drive away from him though. In the 07D machine, second still now going to be Horton. Horton looks like he's going to finish up that 2nd spot. So Davin Cardwell going to win this race off of turn number 4. So put Davin Cardwell to the race win here in the B main. Then Horton running, finishing 2nd. Drew Hopkins 3rd. Blake Brown and Scott Dobbs run out your top 5. So we're gonna have a 2-minute warm up here. We're gonna take things down trackside for the playing of our national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Thank you to Kevin Dedman and Dirty Grass Soul for the playing of our national anthem here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. Glad that those guys could be a part. Check out Dirty Grass Soul on Facebook. I tell you what, you will not be disappointed. Kevin Dedman and his band do a fantastic job. Dirty Grass Soul, man, hats off to you. Got to thank all of our sponsors here for league sponsors. Got to thank Cron Trucking here. Also got to thank Gavin's Custard, Amsoil, Dirt All Access, High Side Graphics, Sugar Dog, HRE Motorsports, Team Friday, the sponsors here of today's events that are going on here in the Amsoil High Noon Series at Lernerville. So we are getting ready for the feature event here this afternoon, and it is going to be a great one. There's definitely a lot of star-studded cars in the field here tonight, or today, I should say, waiting on these guys to load onto the track. But we're going to get right into the starting lineup here for the 50-lap A-Main Lernerville here at the Amsoil High Noon Series, brought to you in part by HRE Motorsports. Starting on the pole will be the number 42, the D1RT number 42 machine. That will be Jordan Casey and his dancing part of the outside, driving the D1RT number 80 machine, the 80D. That is Dylan Wilson. Inside row number 2 sees the 127, your current points leader, Blake Majules in the 127. That's Swindell Speed Lab, number 127. Then Bryce Dafferin in the number 18, rolling off position number 4. Rolling off 5th, let's see the Swindell Speed Labs, number 44. And then Matthew Everett aboard the 06 in position number 6. 7th starter sees the number 63 machine, Clifford Driscoll in the 3D Racing, number 63. And Jacob Fields aboard the double hot 7 in position number 8. 9th starter sees the one-shot scrap and recycling 3D Racing, number 08 of Calvin Herring, and Brad Dyer aboard the number 56 machine in position number 10. 11th position sees the HRE Motorsports number 3 of Shane James and Darren Freeman aboard the number 89 machine, rolling off position 12. 13th starting spot sees the 07D, the Monsters of Dirt number 07D of Davin Cardwell, and Horton in the number 23 in position number 14. 15th starter sees the Phenom Drew Hopkins in the 157 and Blake Brown aboard the number 74. Then in row number 9 sees Scott Dobbs and Josh Hessen in the 118 machine, then Jared Hayes and Alex Smolders in the 211. Then you have Tyson Pangal, Lyndon Wiffle in the 21. Preston Ledford and Darren Litterall in row number 12 as we get ready to go. Green flag racing off of turn number 4. We're stacked, we're packed, we're racing off of turn number 4. Who's it gonna be here this afternoon? The number 42 of Casey, the number 42, down the back straightaway. Could not do the who's it going to be as well as I wanted to. A little bit under the weather. The 80D of Dylan Wilson running in that second spot. Blake Majules, your points leader, running in that third spot. Blake Cannon running in the fourth, man. In that beautiful prepared number pink, the 44, the pink just offsets that car. It just shows up. I like the way that car looks. Clifford Driscoll running in the fifth spot, which I think kind of, I call that a throwback type of scheme out there. Is Clifford Driscoll, the first yellow flag going to come out here, the Har Motorsports yellow flag of the afternoon, the first one. Going to slow us down and restack and repack the field. Maybe I can get another shot at who's it going to be, as that was a piss poor rendition of that, as I give myself probably a D- on that one. So maybe we'll get it back here with 50 laps. So we're going to take a look to see what caused this one. Looks like Lyndon the cause of this one. Trying to get to it. Don't know if we're going to be able to or not. Like I said, doesn't look like we're going to be able to see him. It looks like he just pulls off the track here. So we're going to leave it at that. Lyndon was the cause of that wreck. And Katie out there saying Cannon's going to take down the victory. Who else has a favorite out there? Who else do you guys think are going to win? Thank you, Ken, for the 150 stars. Like I said, Ken out there giving us 150 stars. So we thank everybody that's giving us star donations, guys and girls. It gives us a good start on 2020. I tell you, it's not as easy as everybody thinks it is. We like to keep our rates low, and we like to try to do the races as bare minimum. We like to do our definitely our bonus races for rather cheap, and make sure that everything goes good. As the iRacing flag, green flag comes back out over the field. It's the number 80 of Dylan Wilson. Then, oh boy, there's a 127 of Blake Majules. Man, slides up in front of it. Looked like the number 42 of Jordan Casey. Casey had to jump out there. So Jordan Casey dropping back to the fifth spot. So a little bit of heat between Swindell Speed Labs and D1RT there. So now we'll see what's going to happen. Is Jordan Casey definitely has a fast machine, trying to make his way back up through the field right now, struggling behind the 44 of Blake Cannon and the 63 of Clifford Driscoll, but the 127 of Blake Majules dives down to the bottom. But Dylan Wilson is touching the top of the speedway like no other driver right now, and able to motor off the top and propel himself here down the front straightaway. Dylan Wilson out to almost a second advantage over Blake Majules, but Majules keeps diving to the bottom. He's trying to find that forward bite, but you can see him get loose off the turn, and that loses some time in that 127 machine. Here comes Blake Cannon down to the bottom, a battle of the Swindell Speed Lab drivers, as the 44 Cannon trying to get back up there too, as he pounds the top there 1 and 2. We'll see if Cannon is able to track down the 127. Driscoll running in fourth. Fifth is Jordan Casey. Matthew Everett's having a solid run there in that sixth spot. Then you got Brad Dyer running seventh. So we're on lap 12 of 50 with Dylan Wilson just showing the way here. The D1RT number 80D machine just showing the quickest way around here through 3 and 4. Up on the top shelf of the speedway, Blake Majules running second. Blake Cannon running third now. Fourth is Clifford Driscoll, Jordan Casey running in that fifth spot. Brad Dyer battling it out with a whole gaggle of cars here. Dyer, Shane James, you got back here Jacob Fields, Bryce Daffron, Matthew Everett, who slipped back all the way to the 10th spot as Darren Freeman in the number 89 machine moves into 10th, and Calvin Herring right there too. As the yellow flag going to come out, going to have to see what caused that one. I think Horton may be involved in this one here. As, yeah, definitely a couple of cars involved here. Horton involved, the 118 of Josh Hessen involved. As the yellow flag comes out, the Harbor Motorsports yellow flag is, Hessen comes up, and the 06 of Matthew Everett comes down the track because he went up and over the banking, and then Hessen goes there, and Hessen gets the short end of the stick traveling off the speedway. So Joshua Hessen, the 118, going to be tail end Charlie here in the 118 machine. Like I said, yellow flag out over the field. As you'll see, the sponsors now show up for the rest of the event. They're in the lower left-hand corner. Amsoil being the main sponsor here of the High Noon Series. Every Sunday here for, I believe it's going to be 5 more races after this one. So yeah, 5 more races. This is race number 3. So 5 more races after this one. If you guys still want to get involved, I'm sure they'll let you in. So definitely got to thank all the sponsors here. Got to thank all of our sponsors too. We'll do that later in the show. But well, we can thank our Motorsports, iRacing, iFlag, Voiles Trucking, JMax Journeys, BladeNote.com, South Texas Speedway, 3D Racing, TDR-Racing.net, Trash Panda Graphics, Pit Pass, Milder Productions and Designs. You also got to thank JP Designs. All those guys helping us out here at Full Velocity Racing Network for 2020. So iRacing, iFlag, green flag back out. Blake Majula, your race leader of the 44. Blake Cannon running in the 3rd spot, trying to get around now as Blake Majula is able to get around the ADD machine of Wilson. Wilson was extremely fast here, so we'll see if Wilson has a way to get back around the 127. The Blake Majula, the yellow flag going to come back out here, and that's going to slow him back down and restack and repack the field. As I'm thinking it is the number 9 machine involved in this one. Hazen. Coming down here through the corner, gets into the back of the 211, and then the 23. Brad Dyer was off the track, but the number 9, I think we have somebody upside down here. I thought somebody was upside down on the front straightaway. That might have been Scott Dobbs. And Dobbs goes upside down, goes for a ride there. He did a little bit of roof surfing. Some good TV time for Scott Dobbs. Not the TV time he wants, though, in that 29 machine. No, Scott, I haven't seen the tire go flat. I'd like to see the tires go flat. That'd be nice to see right rears go flat, different things go flat. I don't think they have that yet. Oh, normally I get it right there, Tubbs. Normally I get it right. It's usually Phil that don't get it right, so relax. Relax just a little bit there, mister. As you're not on my sponsorship sheet for this one yet, so definitely like to harass you. As these guys, it's Blake Majula, Dylan Wilson, Blake Cannon, Clifford Driscoll. And then you have Jordan Casey, Shane James, Jacob Fields, Bryce Daffron, Darren Freeman, Calvin Herring, your top 10. Davin Cardwell right now running 11th. Drew Hopkins running 12th. Alex Smolders in the 211 running 13th. 14th, Tyson Pankow. Matthew Everett, Brad Dyer, Preston Ledford, Darren Litterall, Horton, Hessen, Brown, Hazen, Dobbs, those guys all round out your 23 cars left running. Far from a rookie when you've done this a very, very, very long time there, Milner. iRace Guy flag, green flag is out the 127. The Blake Jules leading the charge down in the turn. And number 1, second is Dylan Wilson. Third is Blake Cannon. Fourth is still the number 42 of Jordan Casey. As now the 63 of Driscoll goes to the top shelf of the Speedway. The 127 battling it back down to the bottom. Getting around the number 80 D of Wilson. So Wilson now dropping back here as the 44 trying to get around him. That's Blake Cannon. Cannon not able to stick it down as deep as he would like as Wilson throws a slide job through the corner and then firing back down the 127 again. A Blake Jules side-by-side battle for the race lead. And this is going to heat up. This has been a race of the century here between Swindell Speed Labs and D1RT. It seems like they're duking it out each and every week here on the Full Velocity Racing Network. And here comes Swindell Speed Labs number 127, Blake Jules, your points leader. Wilson again firing back down to the inside. Moving up in front and taking over the top spot is the 127 drives it a little bit too hard. It gets that right rear over the banking, and that's going to give some breathing room to Dylan Wilson again in that 80D machine as we complete lap number 28 of 50. So the 127 of the Blake Majules and Blake Cannon running in that third spot to 44. Clifford Driscoll having a solid run in that fourth spot. Again, he's in top 5 in points. And then you got Shane James motoring his way up inside the top 5, running in that fifth spot. So the Team Friday number 3 machine definitely coming up through here, looking to have a good run here for the third week of the season. But Dylan Wilson showing the way around the speedway, showing them Swindell Speed Lab guys what he's about here. Here on lap number 30 of the 50 is, again, Blake Jules still running second. Cannon still running third. So those guys probably going to duke it out. Let's take a look back here. Who wants to see some more battling here? So let's see if we can see some battling between, let's see Alex Smolders right now battling out. Looks like with Drew Hopkins. Hopkins right now keeps looking to the bottom. You got Kelvin Herring right there. Those guys duking it out here. That's a battle for the 8th, 9th, and 10th position. So again, there's some battles on the speedway. Let's see if what Brad Dyer is up to here. He's duking it out with Davin Cardwell. Cardwell able to get around Dyer though. Bryce Stafford right there. So Cardwell trying to get himself up to the front of the field there in the 07D machine. So as we keep going, we have 18 laps remaining, so we're under 20 laps to go, but another yellow flag going to come out. Man, I'm not sure what happened there. Jordan Casey involved in this one in the 42 machine. Let's see what happened. I don't think, yeah, I'll start with 18 though, Bryce Daffrin. So Daffrin coming down here through 3 and 4. Hooks the berm there and pounds the wall back down in front of Jordan Casey. That clips Casey in the 9, also involved Hazen. Man, Daffrin getting screwed up there. A lot of damage to that machine. Scott Dobbs, Hazen. And same way with Jordan Casey. Those guys all going to have to probably visit pit road to get a quick repair. So again, I want to thank everybody for tuning into the Full Velocity Racing Network. We're about 19,000 stars from our goal here for Facebook for the month of January. So we got 19,000 more stars to give, folks. So any star donations will go a long way here on the Full Velocity Racing Network to keep our broadcasting rates cheap. Help us upgrade our systems and make sure that you get the best overall performance out of the Full Velocity Racing Network you can. Watch Jordan Casey come back out here. Just in front of the iRacing.com page truck. He's saying media and designs, Tubbs out there, definitely doing some entrance videos now and different types of videos. He's done the Full Velocity Racing Network, a couple of them now. He's done the new anthem. He has now done also the approach there, what we call the pre-intro for Full Velocity Racing Network. So anybody that's really and wants to be have some intros done, have even team intros done, team things, different videos. He does a fantastic job on those. And he's a rookie at those, and he does a fantastic job. So definitely going out and doing lots of different things besides just painting. So really do check him out. He's brought Full Velocity Race Network a lot of different things now, so he's bringing some great things to the table. So we got to thank Tubbs out there, but we like to harass him. As the iRacing flag, green flag comes back out, and man, the gaggle of cars, and I thought they were going to stack them up over there in 3 and 4 here early, but Blake Cannon now trying to take advantage of that bottom starting spot there in the 44 machine to try to get around the 127 of Blake Majules, as Cannon now makes a little bit of contact. Shane James getting into the side of Cannon. As James, that's going to make him fall back into the clutches of Jacob Fields in the double 9-7 machine. So Fields going to move inside the top 5. As now it's Wilson, Blake Majules, Blake Cannon, Clifford Driscoll, Jacob Fields rounding out your top 5 right now. And then you got a 3-wide battle for the race lead. I mean, that's quite a shot there with Dylan Wilson, Blake Majules, and Blake Cannon as they come through 1 and 2. As you can just see the different grooves that they were running down through there. Let's see if they're going to do that again. Probably not so much this time, as you can just see they're running different grooves. Blake Majules is definitely running something different, trying to get around Dylan Wilson. But Wilson right now is definitely the fastest car out on the racetrack. Last time by 15.664. What's he going to get this time by? 15.725. Indeed faster than Majules or even Blake Cannon for that matter. So those guys completing the top 5. Jacob Fields now moving up to 4th there as he's running on the outside. He's able to get around Clifford Driscoll. You're right, Tubbs. So watching through, let's see if we can find some battles here as we're with 8 to go. Definitely look at this gaggle of cars. You got Shane James, Smolders here. Got the 157 machine, the 89. Davin Cardwell into the mix. Yellow flag going to come back out though and kind of kill that as we were looking as Blake Cannon up and out of the park there in that 44 machine. So Blake Cannon in the 44. Let's see what happened to him. The treacherous outside grabs him. He goes around and comes back down in front and down over the banking again. So Blake Cannon, I think that's who brought out the yellow. I'm not 100% positive though. No, we're going to see more than just that. Blake Cannon, that's how he lost the spot. So we're going to see what actually brought out the yellow flag here as the contact brings us right to that one. So this is Scott Dobbs, and it looks like the 23 machine involved in this one. That would be Horton. So we have Brad Dyer. We have a turtle, the first turtle of the evening. So Brad Dyer duking it out. The 23 comes down, hits him. That's Horton. And upside down he goes over the embankment over there. It's Dobbs and Everett's involved in that one. But we have a turtle who is spinning around like a top over there in turns 1 and 2. So Bryce Daffrin, the 23 machine, and Matthew Everett's all involved in that one. But Brad Dyer gets the worst end of that one. Has to call the tow truck as he's upside down. The first turtle of the evening, I should say. I'm going to call it the afternoon right now, but evening is fast approaching us. I do have to say. We do have DWRL here later tonight. Jack and myself should be on the call for that one. I believe Phil's going to sit the whole Sunday out, which is fine. He needs a break too every once in a while. Hashtag give Phil a break, I guess. I don't know what Jack would have to say to that one, but we'll leave it at that. From the two Todds. We're going to give Phil a break from the two Todds. How's that sound? So it's going to be a green-white checkered. Who's it going to be, guys? We want to know who's going to take down the victory. Is it going to be Dylan Wilson, Blake Majules, Jacob Fields, Clifford Driscoll, Shane James? Anything can happen, I'm going to tell you. They've been battling it out here. D1RT and Swindle Speed Labs have tossed it up the last couple weeks here. How's it going, David? DJ. Old teammate, can't forget you. I know you're from HRE, but you were an old teammate before you were HRE. Back when I could race. Well, if that's what you want to call it. I guess that's crashing. That's what I call it. Jason saying the 80. It's gonna be definitely different here. Is a green-white checkered here. Wilson and Majules make your front rows. iRacing flag. Green flag comes out And Dylan Wilson and Blake Jules lead the charge down to turn number 1. I tell you can't count on anybody else, though. Here comes Jules firing back here. He's got to run off the top shelf of the Speedways into the back straightaway. Blake Jules slide job here in front of the number 80 machine. Oh, crossover by Wilson. White flag out. Is it going to be Dylan Wilson? Is it going to be Blake Jules? He's got a long way to go here, as you would call it here, down the back straightaway. Seems like an eternity, but Blake Jules slides her in as deep as he can, driving it into Wilson. Propels off the top side. Dylan Wilson going to take down the victory here in the 80D machine. It's been a long time coming for Dylan Wilson, but going to find himself down in victory lane. The D1RT 80D machine taking it to the 127, the points leader, Blake Jules. Second and third is going to go to Jacob Fields there. In the double knot 7 machine, Clifford Driscoll. Alex Smulders going to finish inside the top 5. Drew Hopkins, Shane James, and Darren Freeman. Then you got Davin Cardwell, Blake Brown in the 10th spot. Calvin Herring, Jordan Casey, Darren Litterall. Then you got Tyson Pankel, Matthew Everett, Horton, Blake Cannon all the way back to 17th, man. He didn't make his way back up through as fast as I thought he could. Bryce Daffrin, Hazen finishing up 19th, Scott Dobbs 20th, Brad Dyer, Preston Ledford. Then you have Josh Hessen, Lyndon Whiffle rounding out your 24 cars here tonight. So we're going to take a brief pause for the cause. Hopefully we'll get some words with the top finishers here, as we did give the TeamSpeak out. Again, if they're listening, TeamSpeak 172.245.177.84 is a TeamSpeak address here. For the top 3 to come on over and get their interviews. I think most of them know. I used to race the DJ. Used to. Now I play Wreckfest. But Katie out there is saying hashtag Phil for First Lady. I think that's funny. But Jason was correct with the number 80 taking down the victory. So we're going to take a brief pause for the cause. We'll take a look at one of our sponsors here, iRacing iFlag, and then come back at you with thebladenote.com, Victory Lane. And welcome back to Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for eSport racing down here in BladeNode.com, Victory Lane here with the driver who finished up second here tonight. I don't have Jacob Fields over here yet, but Blake Majulis finishing up in that second spot in the 127, the Swindell Speed Labs iRacing High Flag number 127. Blake, another good run for you here. The points leader, I mean, what better could you ask for besides a win there? But a great battle with you and Dylan Wilson here this afternoon, and definitely a good for your points lead, knowing that the missile didn't even show up here tonight. So you're going to have to be able to lengthen that out just a tad bit. But tell us about your run here.
Yeah, just kind of tried to run the bottom there in the beginning, and it wasn't any good. So just kind of like a train on the top, and Dylan was car to beat all day on the top, so he was able to win, and I couldn't really do anything on the bottom, so it was pretty hard to get by him. So second's pretty good.
Now, was that because it was slippery down there, Blake? It looked like when you were coming off the corner, it looked like the rear end would just step out on you there, and the forward bite looked like you were lighting up your rear tires. Was that the case?
Yeah, it was real slick. It looked like there was moisture down there, but it was like almost slimy, and it was just hard to run the bottom whatsoever to get a run on somebody. So yeah, it was mostly slickened off, even if it looked like there was moisture, but there wasn't. So
all right, Blake, but it's a good points showing for you here tonight, yeah, or this afternoon, I should say. I keep saying tonight, but man, I'm so used to doing broadcasts at night. But it's a good points showing for that 127, able to lengthen your points lead out just a little bit over the competition behind you. Race number 3 here, up and in and done, and definitely points are going to have to tighten up a little bit, but it looks like right now you're trying to run away with it. Is that the case? Maybe so you don't have to think about it the last race.
yeah,
I think we might have lost Blake.
hello?
Oh, there you are, Blake.
Hello? Oh, my mic's acting all up, so sorry about that. Yeah, sorry about that.
That's all right. If that's the case, I heard it just cut right out and just.
Yeah, my bad.
That's fine. That's fine. We'll let you thank your sponsors, everybody that makes this thing happen for that 127 machine, Blake, and we'll let you get to maybe fixing your microphone.
Yes, sir. Sorry about that once again. Just gotta thanks my team, Swindell Speed Lab, iRacing, High Flag, Jeff Brown, Bell Helmets, Weiser Organics, Design 75, Jeremy Ray. You guys for broadcasting. My girlfriend Tia for everything she does, and that's about it. Thank you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, the driver of the Swindell Speed Labs iRacing High Flag number 127, taking down second tonight and lengthening out his points lead. That is Blake Majulis. We'll make our way on down here to Victory Lane with the driver of the number 80D, the D1RT number 80D. That is Dylan Wilson. Hopefully he's done with his conversation here, and we'll be able to get Dylan Wilson here on the horn. But Dylan, definitely a fantastic run there. Blake Majulis was able to get by you there early, but you were able to get back by him and pull a couple different sliders, and then you were able to pull away on the top side of the speedway. It's about time you're down here in Victory Lane, as I said there, Dylan. Definitely a good race for you in that ADD machine here today.
Yeah, I stepped on my weenie there on the top and sent it off the top. It was real grippy. You were able to kind of attack it really hard, and those, like the last lap before I went off, I started feeling the grip start going away there, and I charged the corner a little too hard and drove it off. So thankfully Blake still looked like he was kind of committed to the bottom, so that kind of helped, and threw a couple sliders with them, and I think he messed up or something on one of the sliders, so I was able to have a clean track after that, and that always helps.
Yeah, definitely. And he was saying that the grip wasn't down there on the bottom. It was real greasy down there. You pretty much ran the top side the whole afternoon with that ADD machine. Was there any type of bite anywhere else? Did you get a chance to try that?
No, these starting tracks they said are anything more than 0. A lot of times, for some reason, the moisture just isn't as heavy on the bottom as it should be, and so it goes to the top pretty quick. So either way, if they hadn't reset the track or if they did, it was going to be on the top no matter what, unless they started at 0. So I kind of knew what to expect. That's why I kind of just committed to the top pretty early, and I tried a couple of lines there, and nothing seemed to be as good as running the top all the way around. So I figured I was going to live or die by the top. I was either going to go off or look like a hero.
Well, Dylan, is it running a series like this? Is this sort of like a mastery of Lernerville? Running an 8-week series like this, do you learn a lot here, pounding the track all the time and trying to figure out the different track conditions? Is that in your wheelhouse? Does this type of series make you learn the track better?
Yeah, I mean, iRacing gives us the ability to run thousands of laps, anyways, and whenever we get a new track like Lernerville, that's all anybody runs. So a lot of people get to know the track like the back of their hand pretty quickly, and I'm no exception. I know this track pretty well. I know what it's going to do and how it races. So yeah, it's definitely. I kind of wish it wasn't like that because I think the race would be a lot better without all the thousands of laps everybody turns. But unfortunately, that's what you have to do to stay competitive. So that's what we do.
All right, Dylan, we'll give you the microphone one last time. You can thank whoever you'd like to thank here to get this big W here this afternoon here at Lernerville, and definitely it's about time you got it down here. I know you've been struggling the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, thank you to everybody over at D1RT Race and everything they do. Thanks to the guys over at Tops Up Here, Bud Tub. Everybody knows them as a sprint car team, but they've ventured out into the stock car world, and I'm very happy to carry the banner for them and make them more known on the stock car side. And then thanks to Rodney for the skin and anybody else. And thanks to you guys for broadcasting and Ultra Dirt Racing Association for putting this deal on.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, picking up the W here this afternoon, the D1RT driver of the number 80D, that is Dylan Wilson, finally taking down a victory here in the UDRA Amsoil High Noon Series here on the Full Velocity Racing Network, your source for eSport racing. So definitely a good run for these guys, and definitely a good run for everybody involved. Not a lot of yellow flags here in this 50-lap event, probably more than some of the guys would like to see, but definitely a fantastic finish. Like you said, 20 cars finishing down order going up on the left side of your screen, so just everybody can find out where maybe your favorite driver finished here in the Sunday night series. But a barn burner in itself. Got to thank everyone involved here for our Full Velocity Racing Network. Got to thank Har Motorsports. Got to thank iRacing, iFlag. Got to thank Voiles Trucking, J-Max Journeys. You know, the Locked In Syndrome. Go www.jmaxstrong.com. Also got to thank BladeNode.com, Simple Web Solutions powered by nerds, South Texas Speedway, 3D Racing, TDR-Racing.net, Trash Panda Graphics, and we're just going to call it Tubbs Designs. You know, that's all we're going to call it here this evening, just to mess with them some more, or this afternoon. So got to thank JP Designs also. Got to thank Pit Pass out there too. Also got to thank our league sponsors, Cron Trucking, Kevin's Custard, Amsoil Dirt, All Access, Highside Graphics, Sugar Dog, HRE Motorsports, and Team Friday. On behalf of Full Velocity Racing Network, I'm Todd Stanton signing off, reminding you to keep the hammer down here, and we'll see you at DWRL here tonight at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, about 7:20 Eastern Time. We'll go green flag racing action with the guys over there for the BladeNode.com Sunday Night Shootout Series. Until then, we'll see you soon.